What's up, guys? Welcome back to the College Basketball Report, and today I have another video for you guys, my top 3 matchups of the day, like I do the past week or two. So, let's get into the matchups today. Kind of a slow day for college basketball. My first game here is going to be Houston TCU at 9 p.m. on ESPN2. Houston's favored by 18.5 this game. That really shows you that today's not very stacked. If you look up here in this corner, there's only one ranked game today. So let's look at the game cast here. These two teams have been a little bit interesting in their own ways. Obviously, LJ Cryer, Emmanuel Sharp, J'Wan Roberts for Houston have been awesome. Houston's been on a roll the past 5 games. Houston's favored by 19.5. Let's get into the TCU Horned Frogs here. They're 8-5, 1-1 in conference play, 5th in Big 12 play. Noah Reynolds has been playing great for them. Frankie Collins, those two have played great. They haven't had really any good wins if you look at this. They had that game-winning layup against Kansas State with 2 seconds left. I would say their next best win is probably Xavier by 4. They haven't had a great schedule here. Lost to Arizona by 9, lost to Vanderbilt by 11, actually by 9 as well. Lost to Colorado State by 4. Lost to Santa Clara. Lost to Michigan. Michigan and Vanderbilt aren't bad losses, but those other 3, it's just, you can't really take a team legitimately when they play like this in non-conference play against not the best teams in college basketball that we're seeing right now. They avoided most of these teams right now. They're going to have to face them soon, though. They avoided most teams out of the SEC that are good. They faced Vanderbilt. So they kind of lucked out, but they haven't played great. That's a funny stat with Cole Despy shooting 100%. Only 1 minute, though. 69 points a game. Not bad. 66 points a lot. So they have a great defense. But when you look at their schedule, you would think, I know why they have a great defense. The answer here is they actually don't have a good defense. Is because, just look at their schedule. That's why that number's so low. It makes them look good on the stat sheets. But when we look at the schedule, it really explains it all to you. Let's go on to Houston here. Number 12, Houston. 10-3 in the NCAA so far, 2-0 in conference play. They're first in Big 12, up there with West Virginia and Iowa State, who have been having great seasons. Lost to Auburn by 5, lost to Alabama by 5, lost to San Diego State by 3. So all 3 of their losses are by a combined points of 13. Houston is great this year. I don't think they're as good as last year, but I do think people are taking them under the radar in this one. LJ Cryer, Emmanuel Sharp, J'Wan Roberts, they played awesome. They're still great. I don't think they're as good as last year, but they're still a great college basketball team, and people are not taking them seriously, which I don't know why. Houston wins versus Butler, Oklahoma State, BYU. They haven't had the best schedule, but their 3 losses aren't bad. They played top teams very closely. So I think they can get the job done in this one. LJ Cryer, J'Wan Robertson, Emmanuel Sharp, also Milos Uzan. Those 4 are going to take over this game. And TCU just does not have the star power there. And I think they're just going to get run through in this one. I would not be surprised. The spread is 19.5. That really shows you that ESPN does not think that TCU will be in this game for sure. Once again, it's going to be on ESPN2 at 9 o'clock tonight, closing out the games. Houston is also on a winning streak too. TCU has been struggling. I'm going to take Houston this one. I think they're about to go 3-0 conference play. TCU is about to drop another conference play game. Give me the Cougars blowing out the Horned Frogs in this one. I like Houston this year. I like their coach. I like their players. I like them taking that matchup pretty easily in that one. Now for my next game, which is probably my favorite game of the night, Wisconsin and Rutgers. The spread is by 1.5, favoring Wisconsin. It's going to be at 7 p.m. on FS1. Let's look at Wisconsin here in this one. Wisconsin has some ballers like John Tajay, Max Klesmit. They've been playing good. Also, John Blackwell is also playing good, coming off scoring 32 points. Wisconsin made record 21 three-pointers against Iowa. They are hot right now on this, heading into this game at Rutgers. Rutgers has been on and off this year, not consistent at all. Their 3 losses are to Illinois, Marquette, Michigan. Those 3 losses aren't bad. Those are all AP top 25 teams right now. I don't know about Michigan, but Marquette, Illinois, those 2 are great teams right now. Those 2, I think Illinois is breaching the top 10 right now. Marquette is in the top 10 as we speak. So those teams, not bad losses. Only lost to Marquette by 14, Illinois by 6, and at Illinois only by 6 is impressive. And only lost to Michigan by 3. Their wins against Pitt, UCF, Arizona, and blowing out Iowa and Butler, those have been great wins for them. They've had a great non-conference. I think I'm liking the Badgers. They were great last year. I think they're great this year as well. They're 1-2 on conference play, but they have faced some of the top teams in there right now, like Michigan and Illinois. So, yeah, as you can see, Michigan, Illinois in the top 4 right now. So, they've had a tough non-conference schedule, and they've handled it pretty well with John Tajay averaging 19 points a game. I like this Wisconsin team, and I don't know if Rutgers is going to be able to keep up with them. The spread's 1.5. I think Wisconsin would win by more. But let's look into Rutgers here. Lost to Kennesaw State, not a good loss at all. They started off this year 4-0, then dropped that one to Kennesaw State. Came back, beat Notre Dame by 1, thriller. Then lost to Alabama by 5, lost to Texas A&M by 4, lost to Ohio State 14, then Princeton by 1, and Indiana by 10. Their 5 losses aren't bad besides Kennesaw State, I would say. Indiana hanging up there 12-3, 3-1 in conference play right there. So they've been great. Princeton also has been great, only by 1. I'm pretty sure that was a game-winning shot for Princeton with little to no time left for them. Penn State win, Seton Hall win, Columbia beat them, Notre Dame win. Those are probably their 4 best wins so far. So they haven't had any crazy wins, I would say. But the one thing to take away from this Rutgers team is Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey. Dylan Harper averaging almost 23 points a game. Their team is scoring 79 points a game, 75 points allowed. So not a great defense, great offense. But most of that production comes from Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper. And we were wondering all year, can they play without the help of Dylan Harper or Ace Bailey, one of those 2? And we found out that answer at Indiana a few nights ago, lost by 10, and they didn't have Dylan Harper in that game. There were doubts coming into it, and it proved the doubts. They lost by 10, couldn't keep themselves in the game against Indiana, and Ace Bailey had to do all the work himself, but he couldn't pull it out. So I think I got Wisconsin pulling out on this one. Rutgers have had a tough non-conference schedule, but all their games, it's just been tough for them. And they're 8-6, 10th in Big Ten. They've been struggling all year long. I'm gonna have to go with the Badgers in this one. I think they'll cover the spread by more, to be honest. I like this Badgers team. Rutgers only have Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper, and they need someone to help them, which is why next year, if they pick up someone and keep those 2, they will be great. But right now, Rutgers is in serious help. They need to win this game to keep their tournament resume alive and even make the tournament. So this is a must-win game for Rutgers here. They're 1-2 in conference play. Wisconsin is also 1-2. They're 11-3 though, so Wisconsin is chilling right now. They're unranked, but they're close to being ranked. Wisconsin win against Iowa. Their 3 losses aren't bad. They faced the top 4 teams, like I said. So I'm going to move on to the other games. Wisconsin, I have them winning that one. For the last game of the night, give me Ohio State, Minnesota. Spread by 5.5 with favoring Ohio State in this one. Losses to Texas A&M. Beat Texas, great win. Texas A&M has been great this year. They're number 10 now. Only lost to them by 14, but Texas A&M did have I think they had 40 free throw attempts in that game. So you never know what could have gone in that game. Losses to Pitt by 1, Maryland by 24. Losses to Auburn, Michigan State. Their losses aren't bad, I'll tell you that. They've had a tough non-conference schedule. They beat Texas in that neutral site game. Beat Youngstown State, who probably will win their conference. Beat Rutgers. Beat Kentucky in a neutral site game at Madison Square Garden by 20 points. Impressive win. Beat Indiana State. And previously just lost to Michigan State. But Michigan State at the top of the Big Ten. These two teams in this one, obviously Bruce Thornton averaging 17 points a game and Devin Royal. Those two have been great. These two teams, bottom of the barrel at the Big Ten. Let's move on to Minnesota here. 0-3, 8-6 overall. 0-3 in Big Ten play. Wins against Yale, Omaha, or Roberts. When you look at their schedule, they haven't faced anyone. And when they face real competition, like, let's say, Wake Forest out of the ACC, Michigan State, Indiana, Purdue, they've been blown out in those games. Only exception, Wake Forest by 6. But they haven't won any of those games, which is the key factor. Lost to North Texas by 3, who just played a very close game with Memphis last night. That was awesome to watch. So Minnesota this year, they're 18th in the Big Ten. They're dead last, 0-3 in conference play. I just think in this game, Dawson Garcia has been great, 19 points a game. But I don't think they're going to be able to keep up. They don't have enough stars to keep up with this Wisconsin team. Give me the Badgers taking down the Golden Gophers in this one, in this awesome matchup. I think this should be... I could see it being a close game, this one, but I like Wisconsin taking that one out. Once again, my top 3 games for the night. I got Wisconsin beating Rutgers. I also got Houston beating TCU and Ohio State beating Minnesota. Those are my top 3 games for tonight. And hope you guys are enjoying these college basketball report videos. And I will see you guys tomorrow.